Good morning, Flosstube. My name is Laura, and I'd like to welcome you to Stitching by the Shore, my channel about cross stitch. Every once in a while, there's crafty stuff, but it's all stitching today. Although I have to blame Michelle Bendy Stitchy. She's been showing her journal she's putting her stitching smalls in. So I spent the day yesterday when I was stitching watching YouTube videos on how to make junk journals. So maybe in the future there might be a journal or two for me to show you. But today it's stitching and I got lots to do. So I want to welcome you all. Whether you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back and checking me out again. And if you are a brand new subscriber, welcome. Thank you so much for pressing play, giving me a try. And I hope you like what you see. Hit subscribe. Hit like, all the good stuff. Leave comments. I love comments. I love your stories. I love what you talk about. I love just the feedback. And I really enjoy interacting with you guys in the comments. So please feel free always to leave a comment. Or you can also, I always leave my email address down in the description box. And you feel free to DM me on Instagram if you were so inclined as well. I think I figured out for the longest time, it wasn't in regular DMs, there was a message somewhere else and I couldn't figure out how to access it. I think I'm good now, so technology sometimes gets a little better of me, but I think I'm good there. So feel free. I just put a post up on Instagram actually this morning talking about what I'll be talking about with my plans. Super excited for October. And so yeah, trying out some new stuff. Let's get going. Two things before I forget, especially this is for newbies, one of them. If you are a new subscriber or watcher, even if you're not a subscriber, everything you'll see is 18 count today that I'm working on. That is generally my favorite count and I'm rolling with it until I feel this call to try something else. And the other thing, I had gotten several different questions on different videos about whether or not I use one strand or two on 18 count for the floss. I happen to use two. I just happen to like the coverage better and the fluffiness doesn't necessarily bother me. I know Becca from Sambry Stitches uses one strand a lot on 18 count. And she'll usually tell you, but I think most of the time it is one on 18 count. And she does like 18 count. So you can check out her stuff to see if you like how the coverage looks there. Her stuff looks beautiful. So it's probably just a personal preference. And I know I've seen Janet from Janet Jabber sometimes use one strand on 18 count material as well. So I can't remember. I know for sure on some project, I remember hearing her say that. So those are a couple options to see if one strand kind of floats your boat better than the two. I happen to just use two. I think that's how I learned how to do it 30 years ago, and I just kept doing it that way. So, and a lot of stuff that I do isn't necessarily samplerish stuff, and I think there it's really popular in that sense, but you could probably use it for anything. If you like how it looks, go for it. But anyway, I had gotten that question a bunch of times and I'd never really addressed it beyond just personally answering the questions. So I figured I would throw it out there. All right, I have a finish. If you look at the picture, there's one little back stitch that you're like, Laura, you didn't finish, but I don't think it's gonna happen. This is Satsuma Street Halloween Cat. You know I was close. And Carla from Carla Being Crafty, this month, August is her birthday month, and she is doing a black cat birthday sal. So basically stitch on something with a black cat and join on in. This I'm going to post soon and be part of the sal and on Instagram, and I want to check out some of all the other fun stuff that's done. This is done on blue-gray fabric from Garibaldis, and here we go. Love it. It's funny, in person it looks a little bit more purpley, but it definitely looks gray on the screen. So I was almost done. I really only had, a little bit of the pumpkin left? Yeah, a little bit of the pumpkin left, and then the back stitch. So I worked on this past weekend, and I had gotten all the X's done. So all the stitching was done, and I had left the back stitch I said, I'll do it later on in the week. that I don't like backstitch. I think it was the whiskers are long stitches, and that kind of intimidated me a little bit. So I said I'll put it aside. So Wednesday I was having one of those days at home, you know, when people just aren't listening to you, and I don't know, maybe it's just my house, and it doesn't happen very often, but once in a while you just feel like you're talking and nobody really is tuning into you at all. So I said, that's it, I'm leaving. I grabbed my stitching. I went to Elizabeth Park in Hartford. If you've ever been there, it's beautiful, especially in the summer with the roses. I stayed in my car and hung out and stitched, and people watched, and that's when I did it. So it was really kind of funny because I'm trying to finagle the fabric in my car. I'm sure people walking by are like, what the heck is she doing? But I just wanted to get away, and it was a beautiful day. I had the windows open and just some nice air and stitch. So basically the mouths and the whiskers on all the cats. The one thing I didn't do on the little cats, there's supposed to be a line of backstitch in their eyes. But the problem is, this is 18 count Ada, and I would have to cut through the middle of 2 different squares through my stitched material floss, and it just, I tried it and it literally wasn't working much well. So I said, forget it, put it aside. The cats are just gonna have straight green eyes without any other line. I love it. I don't think, unless you pointed it out that it was supposed to be in the pattern, you'd realize. And it's a finish. No idea how I'm going to finish this one, but it's a finish. Super excited. So this is my second of 4 Mania starts that I now have finished. Last week's Hello Pumpkin, I think, was the first one. So there you go. I'm working my way through the Manias, which were big. So I'm super excited to get any finishes on those at all. All right, whips, works in progress. I have a bunch. I noticed I have a lot of smalls. In plans at some point, I might have some bigger stuff happening, but I definitely have a lot of smalls going right now. And that's okay with me, actually. I'm fine with that. This first one is the October Cottage from Country Cottage Needleworks. Stitching these for my mom. This is, as they all are, done on the back side of Vintage Country Mocha. And there we are. This house, I love, love, love the roof. I think it's so cool. And you know what, it's funny, this color is not really showing up on this. It almost looks like I haven't stitched it yet, at least from my angle. It's more of kind of a beigey gray, but in person it looks really nice. I really like it. So this house is actually zipping along quite nicely. Then I have trees in the bottom part. I don't know if I have just one more week of the month. Usually I try to get one done a month, but because I did December ahead of time, I only have November due to get through the month, so I'm not really worried. I may take my time on this one and then even wait on November for a little bit. It would help if I actually get these finished so I can get them to my mom. At this point, it might be a New Year's gift or Christmas gift. Christmas gift rather than a birthday gift, but that's all right. So that's the first whip. Second one, I have to show you a picture because it's a digital pattern. And honestly, at this point, I'm embracing the whole house thing because pretty much everything you'll see, except for one of the whips, is a house whip. And I'm okay with that now. This is from the World in Stitches blog, and she has a section of just free patterns. And there's a set of 3, and this is one of the 3. And this is called Beach Hut. 3 beach ones, I should say. Janet Jabber. Janet is doing the beach umbrella right now. But this is the one I've been doing. And this is done on, let me put this over here, 18 count Mummy from Bestitchme. And I love that purple and white little hut. I brought this to the park with me as well because it didn't take me. It's like, I'm just gonna go and chill for a few hours, and the back stitching took me a while, but not quite that long. So I grabbed this too. And it was easy because you could just work on the stripes. I actually would have been farther along, but when I started the outline of the door, I had started it one too high. And so I had to frog out almost the whole door. which was sad. But what can you do? It happens. So anyway, I love this. It's an easy stitch. I think it'll be a quicker stitch, but it's just a lot of fun. It's cute. Love the bright colors. Love how it looks, and just enjoying it. I will link, I had linked the blog below last week. I will link it again in the description box this week. I looked in order to show you this picture, and there's 2 pages of freebies that she has. So, and a little bit of everything, a little bit of eclectic. So I enjoyed it. I'm enjoying this one, and I like how she's charted, and I would recommend it if you're looking to grab a little freebie. This next one is part of the I'll Be Home SAL that Pam over at Just Keep Stitching is hosting. Now, she is doing a whole set of them on one. I am stitching them separately. And right now I'm working on the September house, which is what it looks like here. Woo. I am not doing it with the same background fabric, so it's going to look a little different. And I did changed out the color of the leaves and the vine, and now I'm also changing out the color of the bushes in front of the house. This is done on an unnamed Bestitchme. I must have won it on a Friday night fight night. It's pretty blue, very pretty blue, and that's where I am. So this house I'm not enjoying as much as my beach hut or my October cottage. I don't know why. I think it's just, there's a lot of windows. And with this one, so you've got the different colors in the window, then there's like a windowsill color, and then the color of the house. Well, it's too late now, but on this side of the house, the windowsill color and the color of the house, while 2 different colors, shades of DMC, are essentially, if you were to look at it, you'd have to really know and look at it close. Otherwise, it just looks, like there is no windowsills. So a little bit frustrating there, trying to count and keep track of something that I couldn't really tell the difference of, but that's all right. I decided at the end to do a little bit of the grass at the bottom and the bushes in front of the house, and that green pop really just cheered me up a little bit. And so it gave me some renewed interest in to continue stitching this. For some reason, I don't have the floss that goes down here, but and so I made a Michael's order. I ordered online yesterday at Michael's just for floss. They were having a 20% discount, and then I used my Mr. Rebates or Rakuten cashback, and I want to pick it up today. But after I put in about 35 flosses, it wouldn't let me add any more to the order. So I was originally going to order this one, so I might have to go into Michael's now anyway and try to look for it, because I think it was in stock. But for whatever reason, every time I tried a bunch of things and I would say hit add to cart and it wouldn't add. Apparently they didn't want me ordering more than 35 flosses online. And what I normally do is I try to order them numerically, so the person that has to pull it, it makes it easier for them if the orders come in, so that they're not, because I know what it's like, you're constantly looking around at all the different things. So I for some reason I'm missing that color, but I'll pick some up. But I like it. Not quite as much as the August house, the stitching process, but like I said, adding in the green kind of gave me a renewed sense of joy stitching it, for want of a better word. And I am going to have to change the September word again, as I did in August. I had to change it because both of them are charted in white, and the white will not show up very well. It will against other stuff, but by itself I don't think it will. So I don't know if I'm going to pick up a green or if I'm going to do one of the purples. And thank you very much for the person that said those are probably wisterias. I looked them up. They're gorgeous. I'm not a flower person. I love flowers. I'm just not good at growing them, so I don't know what's what. So I don't know yet. Would the purples be too purpley? And should I go with a green? What do you think? You guys were great last time giving me suggestions with the August. So I'm all for suggestions for September. Especially this house it's more beigey as opposed to the yellow So I'm not sure which way to go. I have another dilemma with my last WIP. This is Brunch at Buttonwood Farm by Vintage Needle Arts. I love this one. So cute. He's adorable. The problem is the background fabric, which I love, I'm having trouble getting him to show up because he's white. So I'm using Nantucket Sky by Fabrics by Stephanie, which I love, love, love. And I think as the background is going to be gorgeous. But you'll see, I started stitching him. And I don't know whether or not to change him to more of like a brown cow, or if I start adding all the other stuff plus the sunflowers around him and everything, do you think he'll show up? Because he's kind of bordered by grass and the flowers. I'm not doing this blue top because of the fabric I'm using. I don't feel I need it. But he's kind of surrounded by different things. So I'm wondering, do I keep at it? Part of me was like, do I keep stitching and then I might have to frog it? I did use a brighter white. I changed the white. I think it was 3865 might have been what it called for, which really wasn't, you couldn't see, but then the B5200 is really not showing up as well either. So what are your thoughts on that one? I am just, you guys are my support today with all my videos. I have so many questions and so many things I need help with. So I'm looking to you this week, guys, helping me out here. But it is so cute. I'm really enjoying this. And I have 3 of the 4. This is a set, this is a set of 4. This happens to be number 1 in the series. So I like the fabric I've chosen. I'm just not sure what to do about the cow itself. All right, that's it for WIPs. I have one new start, which I love. I started it as I seem to do yesterday on Thursdays. Thursday seems to be my start day. And this was no different. I have been thinking about starting this, and I finally did it. So it's the Coastal Cola from Silver Creek Samplers. But I totally changed the background fabric. So this, when you pull the threads, it's definitely a muted. It's not what you normally think, say, beach scenes would be. And so I decided to brighten it up a little bit with my choice of background. And it definitely, I think it's going to make the colors pop a lot more. Now, interestingly enough, this is charted in some DMCs and some fancy floss. What's funny is because other Silver Creeks, they give you the DMC conversion. This one, they did not provide a DMC conversion. So I am struggling a little bit. I did change out one. I mean, I know I find the charts, but like one of the suggestions I wasn't loving, so I had to change that. And then there's one color, what is it? I think it's, I can tell you, Cottage Blue. There is no DMC equivalent in the charts, so I'm kind of making that up as I go along too. So that's been a little bit more difficult because usually if you have the conversion, you use that as a jumping off point. Maybe I change still, but at least it gives me a point of reference. So now I'm just kind of relying on the charts instead. This is done on Butter by Hand Dyed Happiness. And that's what I have so far. I just started it yesterday, so I'm really, that word refreshing took a while. But I love it. This will be part of the C for Coastal. I wanted to get that stitched in a little bit just because that was one of the ones it called for Cinnabar. I don't remember Weeks Dye Works Cinnabar. And there was 2 choices in the conversion chart that I used, which I wasn't loving. So I actually, it's a few numbers different from what the chart had suggested, but I had a different number. And I said, you know what, let me try that. And I do. I think that'll go good with these colors. So I'm really, really enjoying stitching this. This is what it'll look like. This is where I am. This is the first time using, I think it's Kim's fabric over at Hand Dyed Happiness. I love it, love it. It is such a lovely stitch. It's not super stiff, but it's not completely floppy. She's done a beautiful job dyeing, and it's just very, very much, it puts me at ease stitching it. I'm not fighting with the fabric. I do believe that she is on a break with her Etsy shop at the moment, but I will, as I do with all my favorite fabrics, I will put those links down below. You can actually be notified when an Etsy shop goes off vacation. So if you want to check out her stuff, I really recommend it. I love this color. I've loved some of the other colors I've gotten from her. And now that I've stitched on it, it's lovely. It's very, very nice to stitch on. So I would completely recommend it. And that's my stitching for the week. I have plans. I've actually planned out some of September and some of October, looking ahead, because October is my birthday month. So I wanted to think about what I wanted to do for that. September, because September's not that far away, so part of my buying floss at Michael's yesterday was to start to add floss to some of these patterns, and then I need fabric, and that's always my biggest dilemma. So September is my anniversary month. We were married September 25th, and one of the things so a couple of these patterns have in some way a relation to my anniversary or my wedding or whatever. And then the third one is just completely out there. The first two have some sort of context. One of the things that my husband and I used to do, and we haven't for a few years now, it's ironic, the kids are older, we don't need babysitters for them anymore, and now we don't go away. But when the kids were younger, we would take a weekend, and we would do it in October because the season was over. So we'd do it the first weekend that it was off season up in Newport, and we would go for a long weekend. We would stay at a B&B called the Stella Maris. Loved it. It's beautiful. It's away from, if you want to be in the middle of town in Newport, it's not the place for you. If you want to be in where people live and that end of Newport, like when you first come over the bridge, you can actually see the bridge from the front of the B&B. We absolutely adored it, and we would go back every year. And what made me choose this is we would walk to town from the B&B, and you'd have to walk through the neighborhoods and the houses. And I mentioned this when I first bought this pattern or grabbed this pattern. The houses that in this pattern remind me of the houses in Newport. So I said, I'm absolutely going to stitch it for my anniversary month. And it is Hemlock and Rye, the Nantucket, Christmas in Nantucket trio. I'm calling it, in my mind, the Christmas in Newport trio. Julie doesn't watch my videos. She won't know. But I'll obviously call it the right name when I need to. But in my brain, it is Christmas in Newport, because a lot of these houses, it's exactly what we'd walk by in order to get to the touristy part town. I don't know what was the main drag called, strip with all the restaurants and the if you know, leave it down below because now it's going to drive me nuts. But anyway, we would go by these houses, and this totally reminds me of that. I do want to stitch them as 3, so it's kind of like a neighborhood. I don't know, I did grab the floss. I just have to pick it up. So I want to grab that to decide what color fabric to use for it. Hemlock and Rye is from Julie from Kansas City Girl in a Colorado World. It is her design company that she's just started. She has this set of 3 and another pattern that she's providing on Gumroad, which is a site that provides you the ability to allow people to get something for free or to pay what you choose, that kind of option. So it's lovely. If you want just to have a free pattern, she has been very generous and she's offering for free. If you'd like to pay her a little bit for it, that's also an option. What I really love about this too, when I was looking through the list for floss, it's charted in DMC mostly, and when she has a fancy floss option, she gives you an excellent conversion. In some cases, she says combine this DMC with this DMC to get that look that that I'm envisioning. And it's very clear, very easy and put out. And as a DMC stitcher, I really, really appreciate the time and effort that she put into when she was designing that to do that. So I definitely want to do this as one. I would love, and I don't know if there was a way, like I would love to be able to figure out how to chart a little sidewalk, because, you know, it's the sidewalks all along all the roads, and we would walk by that. I have no idea if I can do it. She has charted a free border if you so choose, but I kind of like the idea of figuring out if there is a way, and maybe I'm just not quite there stitching wise to figure out how to make some sort of sidewalky thing to really connect them and connect it to our yearly trips to Newport. I have such, and we would take the kids usually one day on spring break, and then we would go in October ourselves. And I just have such great memories of there. So many memories and such great ones. So that is one that I really want to stitch this September. The other one, I'm going to give it a try. I'm a little scared by the beads idea, but you know, I picked up this Nora Corbett Bells of Ireland. And the reason why I picked it up is I had Bells of Ireland in my bouquet on my wedding day. And I just love them. They're so pretty. I love the look of this. Not done one of these before. I'm not gonna lie, it intimidates me a little bit. I don't know what fabric to do on it. I don't know whether to try like a very light green. I was gonna put the flosses, there's a lot. So I did not get all of them this time around. Put the flosses up against, I was thinking of Friendship Green by Fabrics by Stephanie, but I just want to make sure that this doesn't blend into it. But I just thought a very, very pale green might be pretty. So that, I want to start, but I am a little intimidated. Any help? Actually, I may be asking for help when it comes to the Mill Hill beads and all that, because I've not done it before. And I'm a little scared. So that's the second of my starts. The third one has nothing to do with my anniversary at all. It's just the time of year. I have loved this Halloween calendar from Tiny Modernist, and I have a vision, and I don't know if I can make that vision happen. What I would love to do, I would stitch the Happy Halloween by itself, and then every single one of these by themselves. I was envisioning kind of like a tabletop tree, like a little Halloweenish tree, you know, and however, little tabletop. Have this be the tree topper, and then make all of these into ornaments and hang them along the tree. Is it possible? I have no idea, but that's my goal. Now, the fabric is the option. The fabric has been holding me back. I've got all the flosses for it, but I don't know what to do with fabric. So this is what it looks like. It used Twilight Blue linen. You know I'm not stitching on linen, so I've been pulling things periodically, and I have two different choices, and I wanted your opinion. I originally went with this gray. I thought about it. Oh, oops. See, I had this great plan of all these being, and usually they stay. I don't know why they're falling off the thing. I'll just hold these up. A little bit technical difficulties. There we go. So these colors on the gray as a possibility, because gray, Halloween. But then I have this blue from Fabrics by Stephanie. I love her stuff. Her colors are fantastic. It's called Midnight Tryst. And look at that. So it's a deeper blue than what is called for the pattern, but I kind of like that. What do you think? I think all these colors would pop really nicely on this. This is what it looks like. It's a gorgeous piece. Now, if I decide to do it on this, I immediately have to place an order with Stephanie. Well, there's a hardship, because I have the one piece, and I'm not sure if I was doing it as one, it would be fine. But because I'm going to be doing them all as ornaments and cutting it up, I'm a little worried I won't have enough. And Stephanie definitely love her fabrics, but she's definitely backlogged trying to get the fabric. So it'll take longer than through September, but that's all right. If I start it, there's no way I'd finish all of these anyway. So what do you think? Do I go with this blue versus the gray? See, that's like question number 3 or 4 or 5 I have for you this video. And yes, if everybody says blue or I decide blue, I'm immediately placing an order with Stephanie. Oh, I love her. I love her fabrics. Love her fabric. And I say that about like 3 or 4 fabric dyers. People are so talented. I haven't made the leap and the jump to try to dye fabric myself. I'm not sure. I am not a clean crafter. I make a mess when you think you can't possibly make a mess. And I'm a little concerned for my kitchen and Rit dye and the whole bit. I can coffee tea dye, but I'm not sure about Rit dye. That one makes me a little nervous. But that's September. October is my birthday. October 23rd, yay, will be my birthday. And last year while I was stitching, I was not even aware of Flosstube, I think, at that point. So I wasn't even watching Flosstube, didn't know about things like SALs and all that good stuff, hadn't met all of you great, wonderful Stitchy friends. And so this October, I'm taking a page from Carla being Crafty's book, where she's doing her Black Cat birthday sal. I am doing a pumpkin birthday sal, is what the hashtag will be. And I pulled out this morning, I pulled out some patterns that are in the running. If you have, I should look too to see if I have some whips, because I could probably try to get some of those out too. But it would be fun for new starts as well. So if you have whips that contain pumpkins, or you want a new start, and as you'll see, they're not all Halloween. It doesn't have to be Halloween. Autumn is pumpkin time anyway. So feel free to jump that. I may not be able to hold off till October for this one, but there is this one. I love this. And I saw this stitched on a totally different background fabric, and I loved it. And I have something similar, so I may consider that. But this is such a great pattern. I don't know if I can wait till October. If I do, it'll be right at the beginning of October. That's the hands-on design. Let's talk autumn. This one is a Silver Creek. I already have the floss for it. I just never have done it. It's called Harvest. Don't know if I would finish it this way, if I ever finish anything, but I thought that was cute. And I love Silver Creek patterns. They're wonderful to stitch. I like this one, All Through the Night, Jolly Jack. I'm not sure I would do the words. I think I would just do the picture. From Vintage Needleworks, this one is clearly Halloween, Trick or Treat. I thought that was cute. So that's a possibility. These two, Plum Street, Cinnamon Stars, there are pumpkins. I've been wanting to start this for the longest time and just haven't. So that might give me the chance to. But then there's also this Plum Street, Betsy's Autumn. I've not seen, now it's a 2017 and I'm late to the party. So currently I don't see people stitching this. Cinnamon Stars has got SALs, so that's probably why I see that more often being stitched. I've not seen this done by anybody. I love that tree, love that tree. Our leaves are starting to change. I'm looking, I don't know about, depending on where you live, obviously, but I was outside looking at one of our trees and I said, I think there's some changing leaves. It feels early, but we've not had a lot of rain. Technically, I think we're in a drought, so maybe that's it, but leaves are changing already, and I just love that tree. And there's a little pile of pumpkins over there, so that's a possibility. This one I saw stitched from Pumpkin Hollow Quilts. I love it. It's got the pumpkin, and that is from Cricket Collection, and it's called Skeleton Crew. Haven't done a thing with it. I bought it, and then it sat in the pile. And then this last one is a digital. It's from Crocetta Gogo. Wow, if I'm saying that right. And this is Pumpkin Owl, which I love. Love, love, love it. Technically, I could probably start this now. Isn't Becca from Sammy Stitches doing a SAL? I have no idea what it's called, but basically stitch owls. I think so. But I love this one. It looks really wonderful in color. I just don't print these off in color. And that owl, I love the big eyes. So that's a possibility. And you know, I've got to go shopping. So it's not to say that these are the definites. And I don't know how many starts. You know, I don't do usually a ton of starts, but maybe for October and to celebrate my birthday I will. I don't know. I've got plans. I'm already looking at different giveaways that we can do. It's going to be a month-long celebration, and I'm gifting you things as much as I'm gifting me things. So I shop for me, and then I shop for you, and then I shop for me, and I find something for you. So it'll be a lot of fun, and I'm going to try to find a way. I don't know if you know, actually I'm sure you do, but I own an Etsy shop. It's more paper products and so on and so forth, and supplies in that sense. But as such, I am part of a Connecticut collective of makers and crafters and artisans and all of that. And I'm wondering if there is a way during October to highlight and have a craft along, almost in the sense of I'd like to highlight a lot of different fellow Connecticut artisans. Because of coronavirus, a lot of them do craft fairs, and a lot of the craft fairs are being canceled. And I'd really like to find a way to promote and support small business, especially the crafter small business. And so I'm thinking about it. I'm going to throw out some questions in my collective Facebook group and see if people will be on board. But I would love to, in the month of October, either on Instagram or on some videos, just do quick little highlights. I wouldn't spend a ton of time on videos. Don't worry, it's all still stitching. But just to highlight other crafters and things that pumpkin, whether it's colors or smells or actual pumpkin, whatever. There's something mulling around in my brain because I really want to help out the entire craft industry and world. And it's been so wonderful to see so many people getting behind all of the local needlework shops or your online needlework shops. Oh, Fire Poppies is having a 20% sale through Sunday. So if you're watching that, it's 20% off patterns and kits, I believe. So if you're looking for something, check them out. Speaking of online needlework shops. But I'd also like to help support fellow crafters who do things either similar, like paper products similar to mine, or other things that I don't have any skill or knowledge to do. I really would like to help the whole crafting community, especially here in my state. So that might be something that I'm also mulling over. I'd like to really make this just, 2020 has been difficult, and I want to make my birthday month just something to really look forward to and really enjoy as we try to make our way through all of this. So that is on the horizon. But start looking at your WIP, start looking at some new things or whatever that you might want to stitch, and please come join me in October. If you have a Flosstube and you do it, let me know so I can let others know. If you do Instagram and you're doing it, let me know so I can have others follow you. Of course, there'll be the hashtag. I put it on my Instagram this morning, so it's be hashtag pumpkin birthday Sal. And so anything you do or get ready for, tag it, because I'm gonna start following it, and hopefully some of you will join me too. I know I'm still new to the whole cross stitch community. I'm not a big name or anything, but I would love to have you guys join along and celebrate October with me. I think we all need some celebration. And okay, we're doing it a little virtually, but I guess that's the name of the game for 2020. So please join me. I have a giveaway to give away. I loved your school stories last week. I love them. If you ever want to answer one of these questions and you don't want to do the giveaway, you're not interested in the giveaway, send me like an email or a DM or something and tell me. Like, the school stories were fantastic, and I'd love to hear from you just to chat anyway. So, if you don't want to be, if I answer this, it'll be an entry, and you don't want to enter, just let me know anyway, because so much fun. I really, really enjoyed them, and it brought back other memories for me that I hadn't thought of when I heard yours. So this week's giveaway was a little mishmashy. It was kind of to finish off Christmas in July, except it's August. I have a little scissors here, little embroidery scissors with little candy canes on them. I have from Stampin' Up, they are little jingle bells. And there's 3 different colors, so you get the whole package. And then some matching ribbon as well. So those 3 will be heading out to, let me see. The winner is, all right, I'm not looking. The winner is Mary McCarty. So Mary, congratulations. If you could please send me your email address, either through the Gmail down below that you see in the description box, DM me on Instagram. I think I've said this before, and I have to ask my kids. You don't, I do, and I get it. My Instagram is everything. So if you don't want to follow me, it's cool because you only want to see stitching. But I think you can still DM me, possibly, if you don't follow me, because I'm public. It's not a private account. But this week I did show Shamrock on a skateboard, so it's kind of cute. Just throwing it out there. Shamrock turned 10 yesterday? Day before, 2 days ago. I think he turned 10 2 days ago. And I'm sure he hated me after that, but he got something. He got a treat for doing it. So I wouldn't feel too bad for him. But yeah, that was this week. Obviously, he's got tummy issues because the kids really wanted to do a puppuccino for him from Starbucks, I think it is. But I was kind of like, he's got tummy and digestive tract issues. I'm not really sure I want to throw whipped cream on there. So we just kind of gave him extra love. I made him go on a skateboard, and that was his birthday celebration. So he's a big 10-year-old. Other than that, we're just getting ready. Meg goes back to college on Monday, as far as we know. We haven't heard any different. So you'd think this was her freshman year. She's a sophomore this year. But the amount of things she says she needs for her room, decorative or whatever, I'm kind of like, well, what happened to last year's stuff? Apparently things are different this year. So we are frantically getting in Amazon orders and this, that, and the other, and printing off pictures at Walgreens because she wants to put pictures on her wall and all that good stuff. So that has taken up a lot of time this week. Connor has still got 2 weeks before he starts school. He starts the Tuesday after Labor Day. At the moment, it will be in person at school. We'll see. He is right now at a two-day and just daytime. There's no sleepovers or anything. Retreat for one of his classes. It's a leadership class. And so they are at a retreat for 2 days, back and forth. And I asked him, I said, how did it go yesterday? And he said, mostly good. Sometimes people don't know that whole 6-foot personal space thing, but everybody was wearing masks and everybody was doing everything as safe as possible. So that's good. I'm not sure how in school they can all be 6 feet at all times. So I guess that's something that they'll just have to work out. But so that's kind of got him in the groove. He hasn't woken up this early in months. He had to be there at 9 o'clock both days. And I can tell you right now, months. Oh, what didn't I do? I didn't do my shopping. I knew this was going to be a long video because I had a lot of stuff to talk about. I'll wait till next week to do shopping. Now that I'm thinking about it, it might be a lot of shopping next week because I was thinking I should have told people that I was getting into life. See, this is how my mind works. I'm talking and then I'm thinking, oh, I didn't tell people that, if you don't want to listen to the life stuff. And also I say that sometimes with the shopping, and then I realized I hadn't done the shopping. I get so excited to do the giveaway after my plans for October. I'm a little bit of a mess. I think I'm gonna do a little trip out to Michael's and do my pickup of my floss so I can start kitting some things up for September and October. And I don't even remember what I was talking about before Connor in school, I think, but there'll be more to that to come as time goes by. And I guess that's it. There's really not a lot other stuff going on. House stuff. They currently just finished insulation, and now they are drywalling, applying drywall. So we will have walls. It was kind of cool seeing it all open. It's funny. They're great. So there's a special site that the builder has. They talk to us every step of the way. They send pictures, they talk about the process. We get a call once a week from the project manager. So he sent pictures this week of the insulation just to show us what's going on. It's pictures of insulation. And so wasn't exciting as some of the other pictures when the actual frame was going up, but I'll take it because that means they are communicating with us every step of the way. So that's the big house stuff. Apparently drywall takes a long time. I know nothing about this process. So I think this may be a few week process. And I don't know if they can do the siding at the same time. So we might see some exciting outdoor stuff with it. We'll see. But that's the house stuff. I think the anticipation, barring any construction problems, is beginning to mid-November. Not sure, but that's currently what we're looking at. I'm super excited when they get to like the flooring and the cabinets and counters. Things will really start to take shape. So that's what I'm looking forward to seeing the pictures of. But anyway, this is a long video. I knew it would be because I had lots of plans and lots of things to talk about. If you are still here, thank you so much. I hope you got a lot of stitching done while I was talking, and I appreciate you hanging out with me this Friday morning. I love Friday mornings because I get a chance to hang out with you guys. Super, super, super enjoy it. So anyway, that's about it. I hope you have a fantastic week. Good luck if you have family members going back to school. I am thinking of you and hoping it all goes well. If you are teachers, you're awesome. You're just fantastic, and I can't say how much I appreciate what you're doing. And just my hat is off to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I really am thinking about you guys too, and I hope all is well and safe for you. But other than that, I hope you get lots of stitching in, and we're heading into Labor Day weekend soon. I'm just going to kit up a bunch of stuff. That's my plan for the holiday weekend. But until next time, my stitchy friends, I am so appreciative of you. Love you guys lots. I hope you enjoy the videos, and I hope you join my SAL. But until next time, happy stitching.